So it's time for us to go ahead and talk about the iPhone 7 Plus and see how this phone holds up in the middle part of 2022. Now, definitely what I will tell you, so many things have changed with this iPhone since even the beginning of this year, which for better or for worse is actually kind of sad. It's probably for worse, to be honest. Now, when we started this year, I was pretty much kind of confident that this iPhone was going to be continuing getting support. So I knew this iPhone probably wasn't going to be ending anytime soon because the iPhone success was still around, because Apple was still selling the iPod Touch 7th generation, and because of the amount of devices that had that A10 Fusion chip inside, I just personally did not feel like this iPhone was going to be unsupported, especially with the power and the RAM that was inside of it. But shortly after, a couple weeks ago, I think we all know this, iOS 16 came out and it directly impacted the iPhone 7 Plus. So much so, I guess Apple wanted to remove the iPhone 7 Plus and they wanted to keep other iPads and other devices that have that A10 Fusion chip and even below the A9 chip. There are iPads that are supported with iPadOS 16 that have a slower chipset than this thing and have less RAM than this iPhone, but those things ended up getting the next software version, but this iPhone actually ended up not getting the next software version. And iOS 16 was a pretty big update, don't get me wrong, but it really doesn't make any sense to me why the iPhone 8 could get an update like this, but the iPhone 7 Plus could not get an update like this. So that is pretty crazy to me. Now, I've already talked about this in so many videos. A big thing to keep in mind though is that realistically the body and everything about this phone is still consistent with how it was this year, meaning that this iPhone is still a pretty good, feeling phone. It doesn't feel cheap. The panel on this iPhone isn't extremely outdated. Because Apple is still selling the iPhone SE 2, it's not really like a super outdated, ugly looking panel or even an ugly looking phone, and it's still kind of current in that specific case. So I think that's kind of like one thing to keep in mind. However, another thing to kind of keep in mind in the back of your head is that this iPhone, because it's kind of stipulated in the software now, we're in a weird situation where buying an iPhone like this may not yield the best value per dollar. Just 2 months ago, not even, I was still extremely confident Apple was not going to be removing this iPhone, and I heard so many people actually talking about this iPhone being removed, and I was like, there's no way. Like, it would make no sense at all. But Apple actually ended up doing it. They dropped 5 different iPhones at the same time, including the 7 Plus. And honestly, after installing iOS 16 on all my iPhones, I really don't think it was a big update in terms of performance. And I feel like if the iPhone 8 could have gotten this update, the iPhone 7 Plus could have gotten it too. Now, if iOS 15 is in fact the last software update the iPhone 7 Plus is going to be getting, I will definitely say, I think it's a decent ending point. It seems like Apple is still going to be updating iOS 15 alongside iOS 16. So hopefully Apple will go ahead and keep perfecting the software on this iPhone and making it an even better software experience for everyone out there. Meaning, for those of you who still own an iPhone 7 Plus, this iPhone is realistically probably not going anywhere. And even, let's say iOS 15.5 is the last update, which we know it's not because 15.6 is in a beta, but even if that ends up being the case, you can still be in a situation where the iPhone 7 Plus is still going to be kind of relevant for the next few years. Because this thing's probably still going to be getting security updates, if this thing even stops the security updates, this thing is still going to be getting software updates via applications. It's still going to get app updates and everything for the next several years, so that's still not going anywhere. I think iOS 12 or iOS 11 is the lowest supported iPhone right now in terms of, getting software updates. So what I will tell you is at the end of the day, something like the iPhone 7 Plus is still relevant, but it was kind of generically removed. There was absolutely no reason why something like the iPhone 7 Plus couldn't have gotten the next software version. If I'm being honest, this is something extremely important to remember. I think the iPhone 7 Plus is extremely important in 2022. It's just very sad it didn't get the next version of software. Personally, I feel like it could, but as of right now, that's kind of where this iPhone is. If you still want to buy it, I would say go for it, but it is kind of in a strange situation if I'm being honest. So in terms of that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.